What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another video where I take on the meta with decks that you guys suggest. Now, one of my friends has really been liking the Red Yellow Bonney lately, so I thought I'd take her for a spin. Going second is definitely the best in this deck, and it's even better when your opponent also wants to go second, so I was happy to be able to take that away from Ace. And I have a pretty good hand with some Searchers and some 2Ks and also the 7-cost Kuma. And right away, when I play the 1-cost Bonney to search, I grab the 5-cost Nami, and she's just really incredible. Yellow is more annoying than ever these days, with tons of cards that can gain you life, and plenty of options that can also just take your opponent's life. Nami is a great one, and the 9-cost Bonney is another amazing option that we can play in this deck. I was able to search it with the 3-cost Lilith that I played down, not only giving me an extra attack, but giving me an amazing late game option to play. As often as possible, I'm going to be attacking my opponent's leader to try to help draw cards out of their hand. If they have too many, once they start tossing down their new gates, it's going to feel practically impossible to get through to their life. They quickly put me down to 2 life cards, which is perfectly fine, because if I have 1 or less life, I'm actually a 7,000 power leader on my opponent's turn, so I just have plenty of defense, so I'm not too concerned about it. Now on my turn, I decided I was going to attack their leader with my leader, but then I decided I should play my Nami first, just in case if they do take that life card, because otherwise Nami would be useless. I definitely should have put the Dawn onto my Lilith, and then used the Nami to put a Dawn onto my leader, just to give me 2 attacks into their life, but it worked out because now they're not able to attack over my board, so I'm still able to keep some field presence, and I don't mind taking some extra life cards because I do have a good amount of defense, and I just have plenty of cards in my hand. Also, since we play tons of triggers, I was able to actually pull the Frankie off the top of my life, so I just have another character on the field for free. It's especially useful because they do use their Jozu to bounce my Nami back to my hand, so now I still have 2 characters that I can attack with. Now on my turn, I have 8 Dawn. I was thinking of playing the 5-cost blocker Borsalino, as well as the 3-cost Sanji, but then I realized I wouldn't be able to attack him at all, so I decided not to play the Sanji, and to just throw a Dawn onto each of my characters in my leader to be able to attack them 3 times. I know it didn't really matter here, but if all of your characters have the same power, it makes sense to attack with the lower cost characters first, because if they do have a trigger, it just might not be able to affect your higher cost characters. I close out my turn by playing the 5-cost Borsalino, which is just absolutely insane, giving you a life card too. He is definitely one of the 5-cost characters that give you the most value in the entire game. So much value, in fact, that my opponent decided to just red rock him. I'm fine though, because now they can't red rock something else, and also they already used up 6 Dawn, so they only have 3 left. Now they invest 1 onto their Yamato after attacking with their leader, and they put another onto their Jozu and just get over my Frankie, so now my field is gone, but I have all 10 Dawn to use this turn. So I'm able to play down the 9-cost Jewelry Bonney and start building up a big board. To start though, I just want to get a card out of their hand, so I throw a Dawn onto my leader and just swing into their life. And then I drop the Bonney and I attack into their life, forcing them down to 0 life. Now it is a little risky because they could have the 10-cost Roger. It didn't particularly matter this turn because they wouldn't have been able to finish me off anyway, but now with the 10-cost Newgate on the field, he's able to put a lot of pressure on me, so I need to figure something out for the next turn. I don't counter out of his Yamato swing, even though I probably should have. I didn't mind getting the extra cards in my hand, and plus I knew I'd be able to defend from these attacks, so I give him a few cards when he attacks with his leader. And then I just give him 2 more 2Ks when he attacks with his Jozu. Now here I'm definitely planning on using my 7-cost Kuma because he'll just give me an extra life card, and I was also thinking of throwing down the 1-cost Pacifista because it'll be a blocker when I have 0 life. So I just throw a Dawn onto my leader, attack him for 6, just to make him discard. And then I use my leader's effect to lower his Newgate to 11, so that I can just throw 1 Dawn onto my Bonney, and he won't be able to freely block. He'll have to block and still counter out, so I'll still get an extra card out of his hand. This way, I still have the 8 Don that I need to play the Kuma and the Pacifista. Now, my opponent does drop another 10 cost Newgate. So he really does have a lot of defense, and I don't think I'll be able to finish him off on the next turn anymore. So not only do I have to survive this turn, I'm already feeling like I have to survive the next turn as well. I do have 2 life cards and a blocker though, as well as becoming 7,000 power once I take one of my life cards, so I do think I'll be able to manage. I just take the Yamato swing because I'll become a 7,000 power leader, and I'll be able to just give him a 2k when he attacks with his leader, and then I take the Jozu swing because I still have the blocker, so even if he attacks with his Newgate, it won't really accomplish anything, and then I actually might be able to push for a game if he does that. He doesn't though, he just leaves them both standing, and for turn, I draw the 10 cost Luffy, so I really do think that I'll be able to finish him off on my following turn because I'll be a 9,000 power leader for the next turn. Now, I just swing with Bonney first to see what he's going to do, and he ends up countering out. And it honestly tempted me to want to go for game because I had a feeling that he might have a lot of bricks in his hand, but I decided to just play it safe, attack with my Kuma, see if he's going to misplay. He just blocks. Also, it might distract him and make him want to attack my Kuma the next turn. But after that, I throw down the 10 cost Luffy, discard the Zoro brick in my hand, and now I'll have 2 blockers for next turn, as well as being a 9,000 power leader. I swing with my leader just because why not, before playing the 1 cost Bonney just to try to search another 2k, and I am able to find another Pacifista. Now he red rocks me, getting rid of my 10 cost Luffy, so now I only have 1 blocker. He attacks with his Newgate, and I'm forced to counter out of this one. He also attacks with his Jozu, and I'm able to counter out again. So his final swing with his Newgate, I can just block with my Pacifista that's on the field. He doesn't even swing though, he just passes it over to me, and then forfeits because he knows that it's just over. And looking at his hand, he did have 2 bricks in it, and I just have a feeling that he was holding on to that red rock as well, so I really do think he just had 3 bricks in his hand, and I could have gone for game that other turn. In any case, playing it safe definitely made the most sense, and I was happy to steal the win from Ace. Bonney is just a really incredible deck, having tons of defense near the end of the game, and she also has the ability to just give herself so many extra life cards. Borsalino and the 6 cost and 7 cost Kumas are just fantastic cards in this deck, and the 10 cost Luffy is thematically the same because he gives your leader an extra 2,000 power, so you're just a 9,000 power leader, which is Roger levels, and it's just really hard for your opponent to touch you. And it's great because he's only going to cost 9 Don, so you can use that extra 1 Don to throw down a Pacifista, and bam, now you have 2 blockers and a massive leader. Bonney is another great high cost character to play because she just forces your opponent to take a life card, and same with Nami. And while these cards are definitely a little degenerate, they are just too good not to play. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, it really helps me out. If you want to play in online tournaments, go ahead and join my Discord, the link is in the description. I host one every single week, and I'm trying to get massive tournaments going, and for that, I need your help. So go ahead and join, we'd love to see you there. But other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.